I'm with South Star Bank now. I've been in the mortgage business 27 years since coming out of UT. Most of that career was spent with the mortgage broker or mortgage bank, not really working directly for a bank like I do now with South Star Bank. That opened a lot of opportunities for me as a lender when I joined the bank because of our ability to think outside the box. Although I'd still deliver all the traditional mortgage products, the Fannie Mae loans, the jumbo loans. With South Star, we now offer a line of portfolio loan products that really are a solution for those deals that just don't fit the traditional guidelines required, especially now with COVID and some of the additional restrictions that come on. Being at a bank like South Star really has allowed me to continue to grow my business and provide great solutions for our customers. Anyway, I'm happy to be here to introduce Jill Leberknight. Jill is with eXp Realty. She's a next-gen realtor who delivers innovative, customer-centric solutions to all areas of the real estate experience. A teacher at heart with the desire to make everything meaningful, creative, and fun, she believes the role of realtor is one of a community servant. Jill has 14 years of experience and holds more than 9 advanced industry designations. She loves her job, what she does, and is on a mission to connect, serve, create, and empower. With that, I'll turn it over to Jill.
Oh, thank you so much. Good morning, Platinum Top 50 family. It's so good to be here with you today. Okay, I've done my warm-ups. I'm all ready, gonna have a sip of water. All right. Let's kick this off. 2019 quickly became known as the perfectly planned, turned very messy, overly committed, buyer-heavy, no-good foot surgery and stomach bug year. The year began like every other year in my real estate career with a fresh, clean, perfectly planned outline of goals, projects, intentions, and vision boards with just the perfect balance of vacation and self-care time already mapped out. No, guys, like really, plane tickets actually bought. But you know, we realtors usually know by the kind of calls we get in early January how our year is going to play out. So lo and behold, there I was early in February waiting in lines across every neighborhood in Austin in the never-ending cycle of multiple offers with my buyer-heavy spring clients. Absolutely no memory and no time to tackle my perfectly planned and visioned 2019 marketing plan. And then before you know it, it's the end of March and I'm sitting in a massage chair with my son at the Lakeline Mall of all places because we've canceled our spring break camping trip. And this is as close to relaxation as I can find with my 1 hour free on a Friday night. And 2019 kept this pace through the summer, but I was determined it would not interrupt that already planned tickets and hotel paid for trip to Rio de Janeiro in the fall for my dad's 75th birthday. And at the peak of my spring season burnout, dear tribe mate Elizabeth Riley arranged a blind friend date with someone she knew could serve my soul and enrich my life. So I had this, anyway, if you're purposeful in who you choose to surround yourself with and you have the good fortune of assembling a great tribe of friends, I tell you, they can support you and encourage you in the most surprising and wonderful ways in life. And for that, I'm truly grateful. So off to my blind friend date I go. You know, sometimes you encounter an individual that you just click with. Your shared interest and energy just match up perfectly. And Kim Caldwell, she's an Austin story teacher and coach. We were both creatives with a shared passion for the creative process in everything we do. And after a few visits, sharing the ways we were both creatively exploring in our work, Kim shared a narration exercise she had developed to assist people exploring their lives more deeply. The assignment on the surface seemed like every other personal development exercise. Make a list, take a closer look at that list, and think about it from a different angle. I hadn't thought about my primary thought leader influences until I assembled this picture. What do you see about these teachers that are different from me? Anything? Okay, that'll have to be for another 15 by 30. Thanks, Amber and Kelly, for sparking my imagination for another project. The annual year in review story exercise has 5 parts. List the main activities and events of each month of your previous year, just the facts. Next, list what each event meant to you. Then meditate on the key takeaways from those discoveries, and then write the story of your previous year. Once you've written it, you can archive that story, frame it, or burn it and send it off on a grand ceremony. Simple, right? I have spent my whole life studying and creating stories. Storytelling is the foundation of my entire formal education, and stories have always been a driving force in my marketing and branding. I believe in the power of authoring your own story and taking steps to create the life story that you want to live in. But I never thought to turn those storytelling tools back onto myself using my own actions to analyze and create the ingredients of the play. So, here, all of a sudden, right in front of my eyes, were the key elements of my 2019 story: character, setting, plot, conflict, and all. And it wasn't the perfectly planned, turn messy, overly committed, buyer heavy, no good foot surgery and stomach bug year after all, but something completely different and far more meaningful. This story had more purpose and accomplishment and perseverance hiding under the surface than I had ever allowed myself to think about. The sheer act of writing it allowed me to define it, frame it, close it out as a chapter, and move on. Until this exercise, I didn't realize how I was letting remnants of previous years bleed into my next year's story, preventing me from fresh vision. It was like I was pulling years of negativity into every new year. Not closing out each year's story was keeping me in an endless cycle of dragging around dead, useless weight. Of course, I know stories build on one another, but I didn't have a framed sense of the building blocks of the big story. I didn't have the bird's eye view of the message my actions were making. My actions were speaking louder than my words about my fears, my desires, and my perseverance, and most importantly, what I was willing and wanting to fight for and focus on. So, here I was, sitting and writing my previous year's story that was now titled Something is Stirring, or the year where I started to lay the groundwork for a new way of walking in life and a process that relied on a deep level of listening to my body and my heart. And I felt certain once this narrative emerged that this chapter was the end of Act 1 of this particular story and that a new act was beginning. By understanding the real story and discovering it, it became a natural next step to dream about my next year's plans by measuring what mattered in the context of my story, not the imagined one I was hoping to create with a fictional character that I was attempting to be, not the unorganized, scattered story I was living with the negative self-chat that was weighing me down, but the clear story that included all of the elements that mattered to me. Our industry excitement about storytelling has taught us the benefits and powers of stories in our business development. Stories teach us, connect us, help us empathize and understand each other, and even how we pass down history, culture, and tradition. Stories also show us who we are, what we are, and how we organize meaning, structure, and purpose. There is a wonderful story waiting for you at the end of each year, and it may not be what you imagined at all. So my hope for you is that you will carve out time this year to look more closely at the activities in your life with that same bird's eye view and uncover the meaning of your living story, to look more closely at the actions that show your true joys and passions so that you can take time to measure what matters to you. The pieces of your story have been right in front of you all along. Guys, they've just been waiting for you to take time and narrate it. Whew!